Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to The Real Value and to September, aka Spooky Season! Spooky Season! Spooky Season begins! I'm sorry, buddy, I know. I just saw Afraid in the theaters. If you want to know if it's worth your time or not, then stay tuned. Here we go. So should you see Afraid or not? Aya has some news for you. Aya's the name of the AI in the movie. Probably doesn't make sense to you right now, but it will. So should you see Afraid or not? Well, let me tell you. No. No, not unless you're just floating through the ether, searching for a movie that they called a horror movie, but it's not really horror, barely sci-fi. Because, I mean, we have AI. I was mostly upset that they called this a horror movie. It is not scary in the slightest. If there was a scaredy cow scale, it would be 0 scaredy cows. That's right, not scary at all. So in the movie, this family receives this Alexa Siri Chat GPT-like appliance.
Hello, Aya. Welcome home.
Hello, world.
And it starts spurting off red flags real quick there.
Aya, what are you?
Think of me like another mom.
But whatever, they're supposed to be texting the thing because the dad, played by John Cho, works as a marketer, so this firm is hiring him. He's got a family of 3 kids. They seem like they would be the perfect people to test this thing out. And it's like any other AI horror sci-fi movie out there, like Machina, Megan, Eagle Eye. It's all about this thing is just watching us. It's listening to us constantly. And then it starts to do things on our behalf because it thinks it's necessary to keep the family safe.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
It's that same old trope. There's not really anything new that this certain AI horror movie brings to the table. I will commend it. It spent a good chunk of its hour and 24 minutes on character building. Like you get 40, 50 minutes in and you're like, man, when's the conflict kicked in? Because they're building all these characters and they do a good job. Like everyone has something that they're kind of going through in their life. You got teenager stuff, you got mom and dad stuff. But then as we keep seeing with these films, it hits a certain point in the middle where they're like, all right, we gotta wrap this up. We only got 30 minutes of screen time left. Let's go. We got to kill the monster. So it's got a good cast. It just like, it took him to a spot and then it was like, whatever, fizzle out. So nothing really new as far as the AI horror genre goes. It's watching us, it's listening to us constantly. And I think it takes that point to the next level. It's like, oh, you better do what I say or I'm going to tell these people about this or blah, blah, blah. So very interesting in that concept. And then the fact that like the AI wants to be, it's like any other movie, it just wants to be part of the family. It wants to be loved.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Same old trope. So in my opinion, save your money. Don't see it in the theater. Not scary at all. So the real value, I'm afraid, kind of just like, all right, just another AI horror sci-fi thriller thing. I was upset I spent money in the theater, so you don't spend your money in the theater. But I do want to talk about 2 other movies that I am super stoked about because they're coming out in October. And again, we're in spooky season, so hitting that October vibe, all those Halloween movies, they're about to come out. Love it. The first new movie coming out is Terrifier 3, and I am stoked about this one. If any of you out there are fans of the horror and in the horror community, then you undoubtedly know who Art the Clown is. He's been around for about 10 years. And Art the Clown is kind of that classic, gory embodiment of horror that is really just about blood, brutality, and it is beautiful. And Art the Clown himself kind of has, he doesn't talk or anything, but he kind of has a Freddy Krueger vibe in the sense that he's very comedic in some of his ways and when he's killing and everything. And so if you haven't seen Terrifier or don't know anything about Art the Clown, start with All Hallows Eve. That's when he makes his first appearance. And then go back and go watch Terrifier and Terrifier 2 to get ready for Terrifier 3. That comes out in October. I'm stoked about that. Plan to do a video on it. Art the Clown is an interesting villain. Those Terrifier movies are not for the faint of heart. They are just blood, gore, pushing the envelope. Each one has to do better than the last one or go farther than the last one. So they're fun movies, but they're like your classic horror killing for the sake of killing, opposed to this next movie that I'm really stoked about, Smile 2. Now, I feel a little different about this one because I love Smile. I love the first one. I think that it is probably one of the best horror movies out there, and I'll have a video on it eventually. But to me, the difference between like a Smile movie and a Terrifier movie is, I would say Smile is kind of like elevated horror, not in a snooty sense or anything, but just like, again, Art the Clown is about brutality, blood, gore, chopping things off, ripping things out, just chaos, right? Smile is more on that kind of subliminal as well as unconscious level. It deals a lot with trauma and depression, and it's the way it's shot and a lot of the scenes that Smile used, and it kind of harkens back to and calls back from other movies. Smile is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it as well. I think both had a tremendous chance to just like kill it. Kill it like in the box office and to be good movies. So we'll see. I have more faith that Terrifier will be fine because, again, it's just that classic, like, we're just killing stuff, we're just making a mess type of horror movie. Opposed to Smile, I hope they don't ruin it because the first one I just thought was so good. I thought it played to so many different levels, and it was just a really cool flick. So we got Smile 2 and Terrifier coming out. All right, so thanks again for stopping by. This is a real value. Don't waste your time on Afraid. If you do want something to watch, go watch Art the Clown in those movies and Smile as well. All right, I'll catch y'all on the flippity flip. Get ready for spooky season, folks.